Every tree, every bush, every grass that you see here, we planted. It just goes on and on. It's up here, goes around the corner. It doesn't stop.
Where are we, Tim?
We are in Riverdale, the Bronx, New York. What?
Help me up.
You need a hand to get up, old man?
Oh, come on. I took a nap.
come on.
They came all the way to the Bronx. This
Yep.
is awesome. I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. And it's all about showcasing how people all over the world, including in the Bronx, which was a challenging job for you, right?
Yes, it was.
But
Yes,
you put in a project that really turned their life, didn't it? It was family that wanted this, a husband and wife that wanted a sound of water, and you created that for them,
yes,
right?
in the middle of the city.
I love it. All right, and so the coolest thing is that place right there. That is a monastery?
Yes, and they were very kind. They actually let us use access through their parking lot. Without that monastery there and access, we would never be able to build this.
Two things you don't hear a lot in New York City. Kind
Right?
and access.
We're really kind in New York City. I think that's the line.
Okay. All right. Fun for me to see the little things that people add. This little elf fishing in front of that. That is so cool. Love that log. Looks like you notched that log out a little bit so that the water would flow, huh? Yep. Dude, that is killer.
This is actually the Aquascape backyard pondless kit, believe it or not.
Oh, it's not connected.
It is not.
Oh, look at that. I love how they have their two chairs situated right there. Enjoy that. That's pretty cool. So did you do this at the same time or add this?
That was done first, actually. So the backyard pondless kit was put in first, but the whole project was done together, and we wanted to make it look like one.
Well, you fooled me.
The problem was, Greg, was we did not have enough space down below here to be able to put a basin large enough to take the water flow from the whole waterfall.
Which is right up here. Look at how nice these plantings look.
Make sure you showcase these beautiful evergreens right here, done by Franco Rapata.
Oh, Franco was on this job, huh?
He dragged those down from the top of the hill by himself.
But it's a nice backdrop and a screening to this right over here. So this is what Timmy was talking about. This is where the basin sits, and there wouldn't have been enough room right over there, correct? How big of a basin do you have in here? Well, hold on, let me just show this. I'm gonna take this all in at once. Okay, tell me if you were to think we're in the, Adirondacks or the Catskills. No, we are in the Bronx, and it just keeps going. Oh, look at this little tributary. Just a little trickle right down here with the creeping Jenny. Those are the little details. Love the heron decoy, and then it starts right up there. Looks like a fire pit or something up there. Not bad. So you designed this, Tom, huh?
Yeah. And the idea is that we had a next door neighbor that has a pondless waterfall. They could hear that waterfall and they went knocking on her door. Like, who built your waterfall? They had 4 designers in here that looked at the backyard and didn't know what to do. Part of it is that it was landlocked. You could not get in here. And so the designers like, oh, we could put some bushes in. We could put a couple small trees. And I started talking to them about, hey, we could crane some machines in here, bring in all these rocks. Or we could go next door and talk to the monastery, which is St. John Vianney's home for retired priests.
Aww.
And Bill, who is their facilities manager.
He knew you, or there was some relationship there?
I scheduled an appointment with them, and I pulled in, and they stood at the fence right there, and they were peering through, and they saw me having my meeting with Bill. And I opened my door, and Bill says, hey, you're from Garden State Koi? And I said, yeah. And he said, I'm one of your customers. I have a pond. That's how our meeting started.
And that's good.
And it ended with him saying, hey, we'll take down the fence. You can use our parking area. Tim can park his trucks and everything behind the monastery.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was synergy made in heaven. In New York City, who's going to let you use their property from liability standpoint? But they were great next door neighbors, and they let us come through the fence, and we brought everything in. So everything that you see here, every rock, every piece of gravel, every plant came through that fence. And so when I walked back here and meet with them, I had a big frown on my face. I'm like, oh no. And they're like, and Lilia says, oh no, we're not gonna be able to do our project. And I'm shaking my head. I'm like, Bill said yes. And they were so excited. And
now Bill, I'm sure, has come over and seen this since, huh?
He's been over and he says, Tom, it's growing in so beautifully. We can't believe it. It just looks amazing. And it has. And every time I talk to Lilia or Elia, they both say like, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. We can't believe it. There was nothing here. It was just wasteland. Just absolutely wasteland all here. Every tree, every bush, every grass that you see here, we planted. And it just goes on and on. It's up here, goes around the corner. It doesn't stop.
Good work, Timmy. Since you built it. Why don't you take us through it?
Alrighty. So this project started all right here. First thing we did when we got here to the Bronx was worked on this triple bubbling stone fountain. And that sits right at the front door. So as the homeowners walk in, they're able to see this beautiful fountain and also through their windows right there. We had to come in and dig a basin here for aqua blocks. Enrique and the guys really worked hard on this area, as myself and a couple other guys, including Sean Frost and Franco Propado, worked on the back area. I was in charge of setting all the boulders. Franco was in charge of laboring, and Sean Frost ran the excavator for me. But in these beautiful plantings they put in, the evergreens in the back, and everything else, I mean, it is absolutely perfect. This feature also lights up at night from the Aquascape lights. You can see one right over there. There's another one right over here, and the homeowners really enjoy their front entrance. Now I'm going to show you the back, because that was what took a majority of the time. Tons and tons and tons of boulders came in through New York, as well as all these plants. I mean, Enrique planted this whole area with the guys over here. We kind of split the teams up. Sometimes we need to do that on large projects. But man, this place is coming out really awesome. So the project all started here, just like Tom, the owner, said from Garden State Koi. The monastery next door allowed us to take down this fence, as you see here, and this whole area here was wide open. It was an empty canvas before we came in and built this waterfall and planted all these plants. Once this fence came down, we were able to get in here and start creating this masterpiece. One of the major problems we had was heavy rainwater would come pouring down this parking lot and pour right into our site. Enrique's over there showing the pond guy what he had to do, and Enrique came in and put in all this concrete swale and these large boulders, and this allows us to capture all that water off the upper parking lot.
And it used to run right through their yard.
It used to run right through their yard.
Fixed the problem for them as well.
And now it drops down into this sewer grates and runs all the way out into the distance down the mountain.
To the Hudson River.
Down to the Hudson River. Wow. What's unbelievable, none of this was here, and that's where that monastery parking lot was. You could see all that, and we came in and blocked it all out and made you feel like you're up in the Adirondacks of New York, but you're actually located in Riverdale, also known as Bronx, New York. We had to start this project down below, so let me take you down below where we first started this project off, and we actually had to work our way backwards up this hill, setting boulders and plants and moving our way out of the project. We started off here with this smaller waterfall, which is actually built on the Aquascape backyard pondless waterfall kit. There's a 45 aqua basin sitting here, a small spillway right there, and this is just recirculating on its own, but it looks like it's connected to the upper waterfall when you stand down here in the lower patio area. We had to get these large trees in here, thanks to guys on my team, the leader Franco, the laborer guy I was talking about before, putting in these big evergreen trees, which had to come down that big hillside there all by hand and then planted here. It was a tough job, but the guys did a heck of a job. And then we started with this staircase. This staircase starts leading you up, and in front of me here is the upper pondless waterfall basin. This basin is where the pumps are housed, and they power this beautiful waterfall that cascades down the hillside. Stone by stone, as we set, from the staircases to the waterfall to the outcrop boulders. Because of the narrow access from the house and the fence that's over here, we only had one way to access this, and that was from up top, and we set every rock and backed ourselves up the hill. This project is fully lit up at night for nighttime enjoyment. Waterfalls, walkways, trees. It really looks spectacular once the sun goes down. I just really love how the plantings have grown in over the last 3 years, filling out areas like this with creeping jenny, some variegated sweet flag, which is one of my favorite plants. I love that plant just as much as Greg loves his job.
I love this overhanging deck with this walkway. I mean, this is as peaceful as it gets, and I'm here in the Bronx. You would never believe it, and they don't believe it either. But the fact that this is 2 years old and already it looks this lush, the fact that it's lit up like a Christmas tree at night, all of these lighting, this Aquascape pathway lighting and the water lights, you know, that you can see right here, it's just totally magical. It never ceases to amaze me what our certified Aquascape contractors can do. This place completely was transformed with an Aquascape water feature. If you don't believe that you can put a water feature in anywhere, this should be a prime example of that. We're in the Bronx, and yet they're living the Aquascape lifestyle.